thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 292 of the Massenomics Podcast. We are the lifting podcast about nothing, recorded live from western, northeast, South Dakota. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Tommy, I was listening to 50% Facts earlier this week, and they had a good shout out to Massenomics on there about how Jim mentioned how we do a pretty good job introing our podcast. How we sometimes when you podcast, it's really easy just to
just get
not
right
do
into
that
it.
stuff.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes too if some people hit record and go for a while and then later on decide where the actual intro is.
I think you're right, and some people probably like it better to not do that. Maybe it feels more like just a conversation if you're just you turn it on and these two guys are just chit chatting.
Yeah, and as soon as it starts getting good, that's when we'll actually use it. I can see how people might think that.
I always think about how it's somebody's first time listening.
Well, someone is
right.
It is someone's first time,
right?
And they got to get greeted in.
That's right. They'll be like, "Who are these guys?"
Before this party takes off, they got to know where they're going.
Well, they're like, "Where are the timestamps at? Let me get to the guest. Why did these guys talk for 35 minutes beforehand?"
Timestamps.
The damn timestamps. It's funny if you just Google some of our episodes and stuff. There's something automatically generates some timestamps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't understand, at least unless you're secretly doing it behind my back.
But YouTube knows that kind of too.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's when people put chapters in on YouTube, but it happens a surprising amount when I'm just Googling how to do whatever.
Right. And
in a computer program, something computer related. And all right, it has this big video and all right, at 3 minutes and 24 seconds, it starts me. I never even thought about that until right now. Why is there a chapter there, or does it just know that that's what's being discussed at that point? It's a good question.
There's no way of knowing.
We'll never know.
You know what I do know?
What?
Hybrid Performance Method is great. They're so great, they're a sponsor of the Massenomics Podcast. Hybrid Performance Method is your solution to strength. They have no BS training, nutrition, and education for the hybrid athlete. With them, you get access to proven training programs that have delivered life-changing gains and podium finishes for thousands of people. You can take your training and nutrition to the next level, get a personalized nutrition plan, plus a dedicated coach in your corner helping you navigate your nutrition journey. Head into every workout and every day knowing that you will be challenged and end the day better than when you started. Visit hybridperformancemethod.com. Follow them everywhere at Hybrid Performance Method on all the social medias. And best thing about it, use our discount code there. Everyone knows about our discount code. It's MASS, M-A-S-S, at Hybrid. That'll save you a whopping 5% on everything they've got. Their nutrition coaching, their training coaching, their app, their strength app that they've got out there. And that's for the life of your membership on any of those, 5% off.
And when in doubt, just use code MASS everywhere.
Everywhere.
Where all where all payments are accepted.
Did you say last time we're like Visa?
Yeah. Now accepted in more places. It's code MASS.
We got an exciting episode. We really do this week. Fun guest coming up in the latter half of it. If you're new to the podcast, yes, we talk for a while before there's the guest. So if you're only here for the guest, fuck off.
Yeah.
No,
you're in the wrong place.
Right. But we do have cool stuff. We have the results of our Massenomics Meme Contest for last week. I think a lot of people on the Discord are tuned in to find out more about that. I don't know if we've officially disclosed whether we're going to announce those while they're still listening here today.
They'll have to find out.
We're still teasing that we
might talk about it for 30 minutes, hit the switch on them, and then continue the conversation. But they'll have to stay tuned to figure out.
We have our brand new product that we're going to discuss on this episode that as we're recording, it comes out tomorrow. As most of you are listening, it's already been released, and you probably are well aware of it at this time.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about powerlifting on Ellen.
Which is what we do kind of weekly. We talk about Ellen every week. Yeah. It's just this week is powerlifting.
This just happens coincidentally
oh,
sweet, it's powerlifting this week.
This week on Ellen segment that we do. Ellen. I actually for some reason in my mind, thought Ellen was done with her show. I don't know why.
Do you remember the Ellen DeGeneres show? Not
Oh,
Ellen,
yeah, like
but-
in the 90s?
yeah, like the sitcom.
I would have been like 8, so I wouldn't have watched it.
I
but
watched. I remember watching.
I
it.
don't remember ever watching. I just
Yeah.
knew it was a thing. I don't remember ever watching it.
Yeah,
I wasn't as cultured as you, I guess.
yeah, I
Tanner.
remember watching it. But now I'm wondering. I'm not positive. I think the show was a thing, and she was popular for that before she came out. Maybe I'm wrong though. I can't remember that part of it.
You're saying she was popular before the show?
No, that that she came out as a lesbian. I think like the show had already.
Oh.
Well,
Did she come out on the show? Was that part of the thing?
yeah, that's okay. That's what I'm kind of thinking,
Yeah.
and I'm having a hard time remembering that.
I don't know. It could be either way.
90s were
I
a
just
crazy
really-
time.
There's a lot going, Woodstock 99, all
Yeah.
that stuff. I just
Yeah.
can't keep it all straight.
Ellen's, as far as those people, here's some of those daytime talk show host people are kind of a joke, I think, right? Like they're almost like, this just killing airtime. Say then they're on the other end of the spectrum, there's Oprah, who's like mega ultra famous.
Oh,
like,
okay,
you have your people that are like,
It's like,
awful.
hey, yeah, we just have to have something on TV right
then
now.
you have Oprah, who's the other end of the spectrum, who is like people wish she would run for president, and
Yeah.
is like whatever she says is gospel. Ellen has moved pretty close to Oprah, hasn't she? Like pretty far that way.
Think,
Like,
but
that
she
people
kind of took
love her?
that hit last year where everyone was saying how she was like the worst boss, the worst person to work for in the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was
I thought people loved her,
No,
so I didn't know.
There was a
Okay.
big reversal, and I think that's why I thought she was done, because there was this big thing of everyone saying she was the worst person they've ever worked with, like everyone that worked on her show, and everyone I think hated her for like some of her dumb bits that she does, where she repeatedly tries to like scare and torture people.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, she's getting way too much pleasure out of
Okay.
this. But yeah, there was this whole thing for a while where they were saying Ellen is actually a terrible person deep down.
Oh, interesting.
But that's
I guess,
that's how
yeah.
little I follow Ellen. That I just kind of knew that from the outside, and that was it.
Hollywood, am I right?
Hollywood.
What are we? Are we gonna do a can, or what do we
let's
feel in the can?
Well, okay.
Because
Yeah, we should do a
gotta-
can.
but we've got something important for the can. So do we need to talk about something else before
Yeah,
we talk about
true,
the
true,
can?
I gotcha. I have one little thing. Last week I had hair follow up.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
much. It was
Yeah.
just saying I only had a day. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
I do have to follow up one more time with my hair follow up from Big D. She provided
Yeah.
the hair products for me. After like 4 days of using it, I do think it's a very nice product. I'm thank you, D.
Yeah.
But what was funny was I Sunday went to the grocery store.
Someone commented on your hair.
2 people at the grocery store commented on my hair.
They're like,
and
do you use curl relaxer?
that has been a long time since I had 2 people just randomly compliment my hair. And maybe it's because I was freshly cleaned and showered.
Yeah.
But I was kind of shocked. So I got to think that the product has something to do with it.
Oh, I don't know why it wouldn't. You know what just struck me? We talked all that about Ellen when he never talked about the thing that I was thinking we would talk about, Ellen.
Why were we talking? Oh, no. Why were we talking about Ellen?
I think
Oh, yeah,
because
the-
I meant
the
because
powerlifting thing,
Yeah, because what we should mention that. So I think it's Tamara. Do you say?
never did
Yeah,
get to
we
that,
didn't actually talk about the thing about Ellen.
We
that
got
wanted to-
distracted. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Tamara Walcott, or I think that's how you pronounce her 1st name. I don't actually know. We got to watch her at the Showdown meet
Lift
this year.
a lot of
It's
weight.
at the all-time heaviest deadlift by a woman ever, 635, whatever it was, pounds. Anyway, she was on Ellen, and she did a couple deadlifts. I think her heaviest she did on there was 585, a 6-plate deadlift on Ellen. And then she interviewed her and stuff, of course, which that's pretty cool. As far as the world of powerlifting, like it doesn't get bigger than that, right? Like prior to that, the biggest thing that I think of is like them showing a Ray Williams squat on SportsCenter for
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Basically.
Or like when powerlifting was maybe on TV a few times for a few things, but like this is a bigger deal than any of that. Like that had to have exposed more people to
I think
powerlifting.
Marissa Indo was on Ellen one time
Okay,
too.
was she? Okay.
She got to do her little
That's-
pull-up thing that she
yeah.
does, which isn't directly powerlifting related either, but
Right. They had to have talked about
You
powerlifting,
would
I would
think,
assume
yeah.
at that, but pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, that's really that is solid exposure.
So look out for us trying to get her on the Massenomics podcast, because that's kind of, how people do their tours.
Make the
they're
circuit.
They got to get on Leno.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the 90s, I guess. They got to get on
Jimmy Kimmel,
Jimmy Kimmel,
Jimmy Fallon,
the Jimmy
the
circuit.
Jimmies. They
Yeah.
do the Jimmies, and then Ellen,
Conan
and then,
O'Brien, David
he doesn't exist
Letterman,
anymore.
Jay Leno.
Yeah. Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
They
Whatever happened to that Johnny Carson?
They hit up all the greats.
I'm thinking Jay Leno. I think that's what Johnny Carson did.
Did he have like the,
It's he wears like the Swami hat. I don't know.
It was the great something.
Yeah. We're a little too far removed. We're a couple generations.
I don't think it was ever on when we were live, was it?
I don't think so. I don't know what year he turned it over, but if it was, we would have been
Too
infants.
young to get the jokes.
Yeah.
Or understand English.
Yeah. Yes. What are we talking about?
Oh, I had one other thing to tell you, Tanner. I was so sick this weekend. I've never puked.
Always a good time.
I've never puked so much in my life as this weekend. It hit me out of...
Was it worse than that night before the powerlifting meet?
It was 10 times worse than that.
Because that was pretty that was pretty traumatizing.
I think there was one time like 4 years ago where I got sick and we might have talked about it on the podcast, and that was really bad. But this was really, I've never gotten up like 7 times over the course of a night just to puke. It was just when your body gets covered in sweat and you just think there's nothing left. There's nothing left here.
Yep.
And you're still puking. And I got to the point of even dry heaving. I've never got to the point of dry heaving puking because there was just nothing left. I didn't know I had that in me. And it happened and it was terrible. It was the worst thing ever.
So decent time overall. Like 7 out of 10 would recommend.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm here, you guys. I'm here. So you got nothing to worry about.
How do you feel
anymore.
now? Pretty decent?
I feel pretty good. I went to the gym
Must
today.
have been fairly short-lived then overall.
It was in and out of my system whenever it
Literally.
was. The worst of it was in a 24-hour span, but 48 hours out, I was feeling a little better, and I think I'm good now. I went to the gym today. I took it easy just because I'm like, I don't know what I've been through. It sucks to go.
Who
have
knows
just a
what's going to
terrible
come out
lift.
of any of these whole orifices.
And it was a pretty good workout, so I think maybe I am on the up and up here.
All right. That's a good sign.
So I just thought people should know if they should be maybe have been worried about me, but now I'm recovering.
Okay.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Was the hair compliments before or after the sickness?
It was. So the sickness hit Friday night, which really sucks. That's a terrible way to start your weekend. I got my hair compliments on Sunday.
Oh, well, that really means something then, because I was short just right after being,
I probably was 10
sick,
pounds
so,
lighter than what I normally was. I probably looked like a skeleton, pale and white, but my hair looked great.
Yeah,
so.
that's a good, really, I think that says even more for the hair products. Than,
or maybe I just looked so bad that my hair looked better than normal.
Speaking of hair, Beard Watch 2021, I'm 1 week into having
Did you go to No Shave November? Is that why you did that?
That's what it is. Yeah, No Shave November.
Was there a big office pool you had to get on?
Yeah. Is that a thing? Like people, what do you do? And then are you giving money to a good cause or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it's supposed to go, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
And it's going to go. You didn't say how many Novembers it'll go though, right?
I'd like to I think 1 year would be a really long time to not do anything.
That's a very
I think
long time.
At my longest where it got the best, and this includes not trimming the mustache, which that's the hardest part not to do for people. I think I made it like 8 months in that long stretch there. So
yeah,
a year would be quite the. I don't know how people get things to their mouth at a certain point.
Yeah, I don't either. In case people are looking for worthy causes, Big David did say you can sponsor him for No Nut November. So I'm sure there's a really good cause that he is going for there. But should we get to this can, Tanner?
Yeah. Do we need to get to this before the can?
Well, yeah, we should get to that. So we have something to put the can in. So,
because this is big news.
This is very big news.
It's hard to gloss over this, although this does have a pretty shiny finish to it.
It's very shiny.
If you're watching on the YouTube channel, actually, you might be thinking, what the hell is that?
The light hits us just right here, and it can be...
Yeah.
I don't know how any of this shows up, but...
So what are you holding there, Tommy?
This is the Massenomics Drink Spotter, and this is the world's only 3x3 rack drink holder, right?
Yes. It's the world's nicest cup holder is what this is. And it's made for power racks. It fits specifically on 3x3 racks. We have it available in 2 pinhole sizing. One is 5/8. One is 1-inch pinhole sizing. I do actually technically think this could fit into a 2x3 rack if that's what you had to. Mm-hmm. It was just that the gap, there would be kind of a funny gap. Yeah. So I don't really know. Someone could... If you got a 2x3 rack, you could probably try it, but really specifically designed for a 3x3 rack. And it'd fit anywhere. It's just like any of your attachments, anything that you've got that's got the 5/8 or 1-inch pin sizing, this will go there.
So if we get into the details on this thing, did you say 12 gauge already, Tanner? 12 gauge.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, 12 gauge stainless steel, made in America. It is outside of the pin, one single piece of steel that's been bent to make this shape. And then we have in it laser cut
with
freaking laser beams.
Lasers.
We have the Massenomics logo in the front, Drink Spotter and Massenomics laser cut into the side. And then on the back side of it, we have the Massenomics logo again, big. And certainly does pop, doesn't it, Tanner?
Oh, this pops so freaking hard.
And probably the best sales pitch on this that I heard, Tanner, and if I mess up any of these words, correct me, but I believe you said we noticed a gaping hole in the beverage receptacle holder industry and
for the gym environment.
And we knew that we were the two guys to fill that hole. And here we are at the Drink Spotter.
We were the perfect two that could fill a hole that large. This is a product that is very unique compared to things we've sold in the past. It's not a t-shirt. It's not a pair of shorts.
Definitely
it's not a hat.
No cotton blend in this thing.
No, it is just a stainless steel product. It's a fun, interesting thing for us. I'd say it's very. Don't you think this is very on brand for Massenomics?
I think it's totally on brand for
everyone would
Massenomics.
agree. One of the more special power rack accessories that you could buy, I would say. Nothing quite compares to the Drink Spotter.
Rogue doesn't have one of these. Rep doesn't have one of these.
Give it time. They're gonna be trying probably, but
they probably will.
Yeah. This is I would add. Joey pointed out it is maintenance free. Mm-hmm. No maintenance required. It's stainless steel. Should not be doing any rusting on you.
Would you say as strong as a house?
It is strong as a house. I mean, I can't do anything to it.
It is hefty. We also
it is actually legitimately
several
very
pounds.
yeah.
I've been informed that Titan will have one by the end of the week, so
but it'll suck.
Will be whatever is way worse than 12 gauge steel. I don't know anything about steel, Tanner. So
yeah, so it is super cool beans. They are for sale now. They're available on Massenomics.com. Of course, you can buy yours. They can be shipped international. They can be shipped to Canada. You're going to have to pay for it, unfortunately. We did the best we could.
Shipping is not cheap on metal odd-shaped objects.
Yeah, heavy metal objects. But it is available to be shipped basically anywhere at this point.
So please buy them.
Yep. This isn't a hat situation. Do buy the Drink Spotter.
So maybe we should say just don't buy them, though? I don't know. For now, we'll say buy them. And, yeah, we'd love to see this thing take off. It's uncharted territory for us.
Anyone that buys one, please, what I would also ask when you get it, tag us in pictures, videos, anything you've got of it, because we're going to be sharing everything that we can. And also, if you're listening to this on Sunday or Monday or whenever you're checking this out this week, make sure to check out our YouTube. We got at least one good video out there, promotional video that you're not going to want to miss on the Drink Spotter.
We have a good video coming for this. I did see Big Eddie wrote something. He wrote, he will judge the welds. No welding here.
No
this
welds.
Is a solid piece.
Yep.
It is bent and shaped to make this. So no welding.
No welding. Like you said before, the only piece that's separate is the pin, because the pin is there's a small screw that holds the pin in, so we can either use the 5/8 or the 1-inch pin. Mm-hmm. That's the only piece of this that is not of one solid piece of stainless steel.
Yeah. Damn, Drink Spotter.
And,
good stuff.
It would fit in a hat box, but actually these have their own special box that these are going to go in. So these do not come with farts.
They do not.
They come with a special card.
I feel like we're kind of getting a frequently asked questions section here right now,
yeah.
Which I do like. Big Nick says, if I don't have a rack, do you think it's still worth it to set it on a countertop? Absolutely.
I've been doing it in my
this thing looks
office.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks great.
What you've got, regardless of having the rack or not, and the pin does come off. If you don't want the pin there, you could take the pin off. What you've got is, no matter where you put it, you've got the world's maybe most expensive cup holder.
Yeah,
and that says something. Then also the maybe heaviest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure worth something.
Yeah. So do you have a can that we could try them out here?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Break this bad boy in?
Yep.
All right, Tanner.
Is this a can segment?
This is a can segment.
All right, cool beans.
Maybe I should read an ad before we get that far.
Oh yeah, you better do that.
While you're putting the blindfold on, I'm going to read this here ad.
All right, I'll get up and get it this week.
This podcast episode is brought to you by The Strength Co. Grant Brogy was born in the late 80s, nearly 2 decades after Buddy Caps began lifting. In the late 90s, Grant's brother Jordan bought him the new Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Grant's love for weightlifting began. In 2001, Grant joined the local YMCA and began training with weights. In 2009, Grant discovered the book Starting Strength, and in 2012, as a lieutenant in the Marine Corps, he began teaching Marines this method. In 2017, Grant opened his first gym in Costa Mesa, California, and the Strength Co. was born. In 2020, during a major iron shortage, Grant sought to bring back quality manufacturing of Olympic barbell plates to America. His innovation, adaptation, and can-do attitude brought about the greatest plates made in decades. The plates were accurate, anti-fragile, and instantly became the go-to plates of hundreds of lifters at Massenomics Gym. You can get a set of the plates for yourself at thestrengthco.com.
And .com.
Okay. Ready, Tanner?
I'm ready. So this is
what's in the can.
This is a true legitimate segment.
This is.
Okay, it's in a koozie.
It is in a koozie.
Why do some people do this?
I don't know what that does.
Nothing. It doesn't do anything.
Here we go. Oh, okay. Okay.
Well,
There's some things going on there.
let me try it one more time here. Well, I'll tell you what, I like it. I like this thing.
It is good. Quite refreshing.
Let me try one more thing. It tastes cherry cokey to me. It tastes real cherry cokey to me. There's a little something just something that's hitting me right at the very end of it, but I'm not lying when I say it tastes like cherry coke to me again. Let me try it again just to see if I'm way off on that. It tastes like cherry coke to me.
Well, Tanner,
That's my guess.
Why don't you take a look here? We are working with a tart cherry limeade.
Okay. The lime was maybe hitting me. I could tell that there was just like a slight thing at the end.
Yeah, I think now when you go, you get kind of that limeade, lemonade taste at the end.
Yeah. Yep. Now I definitely taste it. It is like the
And the tartness is there too, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's real good.
This is Polar. When I was at the store for the first time in a very long time, they had new flavors that I'd never seen before, so I got lucky.
And it fits in the
And
drink
of course-
spotter with or without a koozie.
Yeah, that's a selling point right there. Looks great too. God, I think I'd maybe give this a 4, maybe, Tanner.
Let me take one more sip before I give it go throwing around fours.
I have to make a correction on last week. I think I have to retroactively lower my
birthday cake.
Birthday cake flavor. I couldn't quite finish that one
Okay.
last week.
Are you going down to a 3?
I think I'm going down to a 3 on that.
Okay.
Yeah, which I don't think that's ever been pulled off before, but
I'm giving this a 4. It's good.
It
It's
is really
really
good.
freaking good.
yeah,
Yep. I'm convinced on the 4 now that I've thought about it a little more.
it's delightful. God, we're kind of on a heater for outside
Really
of me,
good cans.
outside of me not enjoying the birthday cake one a whole lot. The flavors have been popping lately.
They pop.
So should we get to this
Yeah.
meme contest?
Yeah. We got a lot. Like we said, we got a lot of stuff going on this
We're
week.
kind of running out of time almost.
That's all right.
here.
I told Brandon, if we call him in 15 minutes, I think we're all right.
Okay.
10 to 15.
Okay. I don't want him to think we just totally left him. Oh, shit. I didn't realize it was 9 right now. I'm just looking at that one, which is already, whew.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Big Joey goes, everyone shut up. It's time. So he's not wrong. It is time. We are going to get into the Massenomics Meme Contest results, the moment everyone's been waiting for, at least everyone that submitted a meme in this contest. And boy, were memes submitted, Tommy. Do you know how many memes were submitted for the contest?
Over 500, I believe.
Anyone in the Discord got a guess on the number of memes that were submitted? You're right. It was 69, 6,969, 420. And it was all 420 and 69 references exactly. It was 523 memes that were submitted in the within the time frame of the Massenomics Meme Contest. 523 memes. That's why we've been spending the last week.
Was it one of those things where 20% of the entrants made up 80% of the entries?
I'm not sure if it was quite to that extent, but yeah, there's certainly some of that math in there.
Yeah.
And we are not lying when we said it was very hard to pick winners. It's hard to sort through 500 of anything to determine the.
Give someone 500 of something and say pick the best 10 out of here. Like
if anyone wants to get critical or feel upset that they didn't win, I mean, it's probably fair because it's not insane that we overlooked a couple that should have won because it's just so hard to funnel down that many to select a few winners. So if someone had someone could have a legitimate gripe about it. But
if someone wants to make a list of the biggest snubs, go ahead. I'd love to see that.
I think that's a fun idea. I think that some people should point out the biggest snubs that didn't make it because I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with them, but the list is what the list is at this point and it's not changing. So in what way do we go? Do we go bottom up?
I think we start with the honorable mentions.
Okay, so honorable mentions.
We have in true Massenomics fashion several categories here. But the people that didn't quite make the cut, the first category we'll go through here. This will be the honorable mentions. People that we really.
So these were people that we were talking about being a winner.
They were in the debate. They were in there, but just
and they ultimately didn't quite
get over the hump. They didn't quite have that bite that some of the other ones did.
But they were close, and they're good enough that we knew we had to mention them. And they're really this list. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this list. This one could be like 50 long.
Oh, easily.
This honorable mention area, but these were kind of the ones that were really like, should these people win?
And there was a lot that on very first glance made me laugh.
Yeah.
Like gave me a good nose breath. Yes. Some actually made me laugh out loud. But then it was like going back. Did I laugh at it again? Did I think it was funny again?
Right. Did I think about it again?
Some you look at again and it is kind of funny, but it's definitely not as funny. Some you see again, it might even be better the second time. So that was where that's what I think weeded out a lot of them once we got into this a little farther is that lasting power that some of them had.
Yeah. So should we cut off the Discord now then, or? Yeah. So let's get into these honorable mentions then. I think right.
Yeah. So should I start with the first one here?
Yeah. Are you gonna start from the bottom?
I'm gonna start from the bottom.
Okay.
I think we mentioned this last week. I really like this one. The vanilla of some sort. Fusion Gains meme was really good.
And that was from Big Jeff. He was operating under the handle of WNES memes, Western Northeast South memes,
which I think that's just what his handle should be all the time.
It should be. We talked about a category of best sponsor meme. It didn't necessarily materialize, but he would have been in the running for that particular award. But Big Jeff, vanilla of some sort, very good meme.
Mm-hmm. Just take the next one here, Tanner.
Next one we've got. I really liked this one. This one was tough for me because I really
had a personal bias on this one.
I did have a personal bias, and I thought about this one multiple times.
It was good.
And this was a theme of memes. There were several of this category that were kind of on the same level of funny, but this one particularly stuck out to me. It was a meme where they talk about the transition we make from into overrated and underrated. So all these almost uncomfortable scenarios, and then we've got this game called Overrated Underrated, and this one was doing that at a funeral, like the guy talking in the center of the funeral. He goes, "So we've got this game called Overrated and Underrated," and that was from Big Bob, and he is at the strongest man in history on Instagram, and we just titled that. So we have this game at a funeral. Yes. Solid meme. Well done. You don't is worth mentioning. These honorable mentions don't get anything other than this fame and
you're getting a shout. You're getting a shout out,
and you just get to know that you are so close to having actually won a prize.
Yeah, and you do have that to 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 call out on everyone else. You have that to fall back on.
Yeah.
So next one here, Big Joey, your Squid Game meme did make honorable mention.
Yep.
And what was the exact wording on it, Tanner? I forget already.
Well,
But
it was the
get a follow
umbra-
back from Massenomics or
getting a follow
getting
back
a
from
follow
us,
back. Okay.
and it was
the like the little sugar cake thing that they have. You have to see Squid Game for that to make total sense, but timely meme, very well done.
Yeah, there's a few squid. There wasn't. I think had the meme contest been 1 week earlier,
I think there would have been
there would have been a
of
lot of Squid Game.
There was several with the old man, but yeah, and Joey's in the Discord. I don't know how you say Joey's. Joey _M.
I'll be honest. Sometimes
I don't know how you
some names have too many consonants
Yeah.
in a row
Yep.
to be able to pronounce
Too many letters that I don't know.
them. Yep. But that was one that we did debate on being a winner back and forth.
Yep.
So it was right on the cusp as well.
Uh-huh.
Next one we've got. I did think this one was really good. This was from Big David. Which Big David, do you ask? It was from Big David Mills at Above Parallel Memes. And it was the Padme Star Wars meme, the classic, right? But it was with
just our faces
with our
instead.
faces over the top of it, and it was like they're doing a meme contest and there's prizes, right? And then it's like me looking back at you like a sheepish look, and you're like, right? I like that. Very good.
Yep. Next one, last honorable mention we have here. This would be the Tanner Clark Griswold. You looking all triumphant up on that rock with a barbell. There's a plate. There's some sponsors hanging from your legs. All types of little Massenomics Easter eggs in there.
And kind of something we talked about, and what not always the case, but sometimes I really like these memes that there's a time and there's room for all the memes. I would first say that, but I have a real affinity to the memes where they're creating something out of nothing. It's not a template. Like he literally just made this thing and made it into a meme. You know, like if you
there's a
if
high
that
level
makes
of
sense,
originality.
yeah.
They're really funny when you see those
right.
ones,
And there it is. Big Tyler just posted it. And
yes, and that is at lift.
it's funny, we didn't talk about it, and I'm not going to specifically say on the podcast as to not ruin any future surprises. But do you know what that reminded me of, Tommy?
Oh, I know exactly.
Okay, yeah. That's some. There,
It reminded me of something too.
We have something that's coming out someday, and that, in a way, reminds me of it. If that.
People
says
just
anything.
have to stay tuned.
Yeah, Big Tyler at Lift Hard Live Easy. Great Instagram title or Instagram handle, by the way, too. Lift Hard,
Okay.
Live Easy.
Now, before we get to the winners, we have one more category.
These guys are also not winners,
We have one more category of not winners, and this is
but they're in their own special
It
category.
is.
Their own, and it's slightly above the honorable mentions category, if that means anything. On the sheet, at least, they're literally above the honorable mention category on the sheet.
and so this category right between the honorable mention and the winners is the bridesmaids category, and we have two people in this category. Tanner, the first one that I'm going to take on because
And you said it's the bridesmaids category.
yes, bridesmaids category. This one made me we were so right on the edge, but it just didn't quite make the cut.
And what I'd say about this group of people, these guys have so often been the brides. You know, the traditional thing is like always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yep.
These particular guys have always been
married
brides.
time and time again.
And for this contest, we're calling them both bridesmaids, actually. So they get to experience on that side of life for a change.
So this first one made me laugh several times going back to it. By Big Matt at Mostly Squat Videos, the Texas Power Bar lathe. Buddy Caps buys a lathe. You can address so many known issues with this bad boy. That was good. It was really good. It was really funny. So good job on that one.
The one other one of Matt's I would point out that I really like too was the yes they do Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, the cool beans.
Yeah. What was the
I can't remember.
That's how much
starts
I liked it. I can't remember it.
I can't remember how it starts, but it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah,
in
and
reference
it's,
to the beans.
yeah.
Also very well done.
Yeah.
Second man in this group, though, Tanner.
Second man, if anyone hasn't guessed it by this point, who Matt would be partnered with in the bridesmaid category, be none other than Big Nate. Nate E561.
And that was the first Anchorman.
Yeah,
video.
we selected the Anchorman video for his which is a very good video. I like the incorporation of Scants as I think it was Scants the History Channel because it was the old people. I like that.
Well, no, was he the Canadian one? Well, was it History Channel? Was it? I can't remember. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I should have watched it right before we started, but there was just a lot of very funny references in that one.
Yes, there was. And the just deep references, like just how they kept coming. There was just reference after reference. Again, not a winner.
Not a winner. But good job, guys. There's always next time. Okay, now we are into the official category of winners. We're going to announce the winners, but there's a grand prize winner. The grand prize winner will be
We'll
last.
announce that last, okay.
First one I'm going to read here. This would be the best Aberdeen Magazine meme.
And just to clarify too, prizes. So these winners, the grand prize winner, they're winning the 35-pound strength coat plates. We know that. Everyone else is getting your choice of the Frankenstein cut and sewn Massenomics shirts. Sizing's weird and stuff, but I'll get to how that's going to work. So you get your choice of that, the original artwork from Skinny Idiot Studios, the Massenomics stuff.
For the Massenomics comics.
Or you can read a ad live on the podcast. We would call you and, presumably you could read the Texas Power Bars ad. You could read the Strength Co ad. We'd kind of work with you and get your choice on that. And we could get that ad.
You don't
over
want to
to
make
you
sure
in
you're
advance.
comfortable.
So those are your choices. And because the shirts there's only certain sizes for the shirts, we're kind of reading these in reverse order of placing. So the people at the top of the list that we're going to read last, we're going to get with them first to see if they happen to want one of those shirts, which one they want, and we'll go down the list like that.
Yeah. And we also did say that maybe there might be some
Yeah, we've got other. If you really hate all those prizes, we'll work with you.
We'll get something figured out for you. So first one, best Aberdeen Magazine meme. That would be from the Galaxy PT2 Part 2.
I always say the Galaxy Part 2.
I always say the Galaxy Part 2 too, but
Big Luke.
He did the Aberdeen Magazine cover with me and you on it, and it was totally hilarious. And Tanner, you really started something when you mentioned that last week, because
we figured we had to have best Aberdeen Magazine meme after we talked about that last week. It was just flooded with so many good Aberdeen Magazine memes. It was actually hard to pick a winner out of that, honestly. There's so many good ones.
You brought it up on the podcast. We got done. We looked at our phones.
We were just laughing.
And we were laughing. So, like the first one, just because this is what put me in the mind state, was I think, was it Matt? Did he have the one of The Shining with the axe coming through the door?
That was very good. That was
like,
mostly
it's
spot
like,
videos.
You know they're going to wake up the next day because they're
like,
obviously
"What
not
is
getting
this?"
tagged like ever. And they're getting tagged and they say, oh, who tagged us? And it's an axe coming through in a meme that they don't understand at all. So that was good. That was a sign of what's to come. But yeah, seeing us on the cover of the magazine, Tanner, I think it was like something "Love is in the air" or something along the lines of Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good.
Next one then is, we called this category Best Wholesome Meme. This one is going to longtime Massenomics supporter Big Scott Dodds at @ScottDodds_hook grip. Anyone that's been around Massenomics for a while has seen Big Scott before, and his meme, calling it the stronger by science over his head meme, where it's the three levels of the stronger by science is way over his head. Table Talk with Dave Tate is just slightly over his head, and Massenomics podcast goes straight to the heart.
Yep.
And who here can't relate to that? Yeah. Like I feel I listen to all of those, and I just relate to that so well. And it's just a good wholesome meme, straight to the heart. So congratulations, Big Scott.
Very well done.
You're a wiener.
The next meme here, best meme about a sponsored athlete, and that was
We had a lot of Jonathan.
We did have a lot of Jonathan Olden
memes, some swim hack memes in there.
And this winner is the swim hack from Wish meme by Beer Belly _lifts, Big Chris. It was
Look at the bridesmaids.
amazing.
Yeah. Not to interrupt, not to steal Big Chris's thunder.
Yeah, not still Big Chris's thunder, but what did it say when you order swim hack from Wish? And he just had the full swim hack getup
he had
on,
the sushi,
which means Massenomics clothes, which means most people have those clothes. With the sushi stack.
He's got the the short light colored hair. It really was like, oh, that would be swim hack from Wish.
Yeah, it was really funny.
It was very good. Next one.
And here, this is the last of the
first
group of winners.
Right. So this one is best podcast meme. Best Massenomics podcast meme is what this category is. A lot of good submissions on this too.
And this was a heavily populated category.
This is. So winning this category does mean something. And everyone out there listening right now is like, oh, it's me. I made one about the Massenomics podcast and it was so good. It's got to be me.
Straight fire.
The winner for this one is Big. Does that give away anything? The first name Big, second name Jen. Big Jen on Welcome Back to episode 2600.
And we were, what was it? The two, was it the British, what is their title? Prince something, whatever. Just those really, really old guys in the British monarchy. And it's me and you, Tanner.
Yeah.
And
I like that. That one even had a spin-off. Swim Hack made something where it was,
him in there too.
Yeah. And I guess him still getting first comment.
Yep. That was funny. That was a good one. Okay.
So this next one is not the grand prize winner.
This is
first, tier B.
The first and final runner-up.
Like this is like the 1A. You don't get the plates. I guess you get the honor of knowing you were very close to. You couldn't have been closer to those plates and not got them.
Yep, you were as close as you could possibly be. So the first runner-up to this whole contest is How the Silly Goose Found His Druthers meme by @AngryMonkey, Big Ryan. That thing was good. And we should probably, do you have the exact wording on that thing, Tanner?
Yeah, I've got that one here.
Okay.
I've got that one.
The exact wording.
It was, let's see. Pause for dramatic effect. Okay, it goes, so it's me, like the father, daddy, sitting in the middle. This one's pretty well cropped too, but pretty well cropped,
very well put together.
And you're like on my right hand side,
like a little baby,
like
two babies in your arms.
And Jonathan baby head is on my left hand side, and it goes, and we've got the storybook in front of us. It goes, okay, kiddos, time for your favorite book, How the Silly Goose Found His Druthers. And there's something about that phrase that.
It's so stupid. Most people be like, is that like a version of English I don't understand?
How the Silly Goose Found His Druthers. I just think that's like the perfectly crafted title to this fake book. I just think it's
for a children's book too. Like it could almost be a children's book.
Yeah. Yes. Very funny. Very good.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, Tanner, do you want to take it away for the grand prize winner?
Yeah, I was just thinking of a couple other people that didn't win. The roommates watching How I Met Your Mother again.
I just had to laugh here one time quick because I just see in the Discord, Big Grant said, "Is there a link? Did I miss it? I've been in the gym unable to leave my plates." And of course, the first thing that pops up is the strength bot. Yeah. The strength bot has to chime in. But grand prize winner.
Yeah.
Grand prize winner. Take it away, Tanner.
Is the winner. And Grant's here to listen to this, who gets to win the special ultra limited edition 35-pound plates. Does anyone have any guesses who it is? It is Big David. Which Big David? Again, you asked. Big David Hunter. Account Memenomics _ uno. The scans is okay. It's okay. I'm fine. Grand prize, and his was for the Discord. We're on it of the meth.
I'm
South
on
Dakota.
the Discord.
Yeah, I'm on the Discord.
I'm on it too.
And that's so funny for multiple reasons. I think a big how it ties in though is that's became the iconic South Dakota marketing campaign this last year.
Well, wasn't it like 2 years ago?
Maybe
already?
Maybe it was.
We were out there when we were
you're right.
So
right.
I guess at least a year and a half. Probably.
But that South Dakota tie-in is just sets that over the top, and then all the names of all the other Discord members that he gets in there. Mm-hmm. It's kind of similar to that Big Nate's meme from earlier.
Everyone it goes to, it has a name on, and it is so funny that there's a name on every single person.
Yeah. Almost knocked over the drink spot there in excitement for Big David, but he is the winner, the grand prize winner. Overall comments, I would say this was an awesome contest.
It was. It made it.
It was
really,
wicked
really fun
awesome
to just click the hashtag every day and see what was happening, because there was a lot. There was a lot happening.
And I mean, I honestly mean it too. I said I mean like 7 times in that one sentence, but I really think that we probably missed a lot that we're deserving of being mentioned here. And it's just really hard when there's 523 of them to pick
It
the
is.
winners. But I'm also, that being said, I'm very happy with the people they selected as winners here. This is a lot of good meme content.
Absolutely.
And really, I would say at the end of this contest, everyone was a winner, weren't they?
Oh, I think the real winner was the friends we made along the way, Tanner.
Yeah, that's true. The real I think the real winner was you and I for getting all this free content. Really good free content for us to have.
Well, someone's going to come out with 35-pound plates, so
That's true. I guess Big David can't complain. So we're gonna contact the other winners. You know, I'm gonna talk to Big Ryan, then Big Jen, then Big Chris, Big Scott, Big Luke. We'll see what you want for prizes. We'll get that figured out. Congrats to everyone.
very well done. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
girls.
Now,
Ooh, that was a long first section.
that was.
I'm turning off the Discord. I am not on the Discord, Tanner.
We
It's
are not
going-
on the Discord anymore.
Discord's going bye-bye. See
Yeah.
you, Discord. Discord's done.
Now, should we get our guest, Big Brandon,
Yeah,
on
do
the
we need to
horn?
read an ad first? or
Oh
do
yeah,
just-
we better do an ad real
okay.
quick first.
I hate
Tommy.
to keep waiting, making them wait.
Yeah, we better do an ad. Speaking of the Strength Co., I'm not going to read that ad.
Speaking of them, yeah, that ad has been read, but
This episode is brought to you by Fusion Sports Performance Supplements, another great company. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Fusion SP Performance, you always will. Fusion SP prides itself in being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top-tier products. They offer 2 pre-workout options. They've got the Super Soldier pre-workout, Mad Titan High Stim pre-workout. Both have proven ingredients at their full clinical doses to maximize performance, increase endurance, and improve focus. We do have a SAC segment coming up with some pretty cool Fusion SP stuff in there, but too much going on today. We'll save that for a future episode. They've also got Healing Factor post-workout and their protein product, their Fusion Whey Protein Isolate. Not only it tastes great, it's got 27 grams of protein per scoop, 0 fat, low or no carbs. And talk about the flavors, great flavors available in chocolate of some sort. And they just formulated this. There's a vanilla of some sort flavor, and also got your frosted cinnamon rolls of some sort. Most orders are shipped within 1 business day. Every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS to save you a huge 20% on your order. Thank you, Fusion S. Pizzle.
This is Brandon.
Big Brandon, is that you?
Yes, sir.
We were hoping it's you. We were on the Massenomics podcast with Tanner and Tommy.
what's up, Brandon?
Awesome. What's going on, guys?
Not too much. We're excited to get you on. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're ever going to ring my bell, and here it is.
Well, we're still a little pissed at the showdown meet. You kind of set something on our table for a while, and I think we lost some customers over it, so we got a bone to pick with you still.
I rented that spot. That's a lot of my thing there.
No, we did see you there. We really didn't get a chance to hardly talk to you. It was a busy weekend and stuff, but you were there helping. Were you coaching some women on the second day?
Yeah, Karina Davis, Quadzilla on Instagram.
Yeah, and didn't she bench like 400 pounds?
Yeah, 396. And I think the most we did in training was like 373. So her peak went absolutely perfect. I knew 402 was there, but again, we were going for a total, not for the bench. So, all attempts were a little on the conservative side to leave a little bit on the platform. But, she did what we set out to do. And, she ended up squatting 540, bench, was 396. And then she got a red light on her 540 deadlift for a downward motion. But it definitely was the right call. So I think she ended up with like 512 or something like that.
Damn. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, there's
The girls are stronger. The girls are stronger than I am now. It's insane. I'm so glad I'm coaching.
Well, so you have I was curious about that because we did just see you there, so it was fun to lead off with that. But you have like gone through some pretty huge changes in the last couple of years. Now focus more on arm wrestling, but maybe you could just talk us through, for anyone that doesn't know, kind of the string of events that led you from, I don't know, totaling 2,500 pounds to now competing, professionally in arm wrestling.
Yeah, so it's been a ride. Again, if you had told me in 2018 this is what I'd be doing in 2021, I would say you're full of shit. There's no way. Powerlifting is I've always been a powerlifter, even before I was a competitive powerlifter. It's just what I've always done. That's what I always will do. That's what I still do to this day. I can't get away with it. Get away from it. I just love it. So again, 2018, I was on top of the world. I kicked ass at Kern. I had the highest total on the day, and I barely lost to Yuri in the Wilks. And if I had hit that last deadlift of 887, which I did hit, I just dropped it on the way down. It rolled out of my hand. I would have won, that 40 grand and beat Yuri in the Wilks, which, people say he was unbeatable in Wilks. So that would have been, pretty cool. That's how the year in 2018 started. I took all 2017 off rehabbing injuries that I acquired in 2016. So, I came back in, swinging hard. And then, we're going to Big Dogs 3 in Australia at the end of 2018. Actually, I believe, that was the end of 2018, the very end of 2018. And, I had already torn my knee training in 20 for the Kern. In Kern, I squatted 975. The plan was to go for 1,003, but everyone remembers Kern in 2018, the crazy stage with the wobble.
Like JP Price was like bouncing.
Right, that moonwalk he did.
Yeah.
The crazy, the judging was just a little ridiculous that day. It was just one of those days. So I ended up with a 975 squat, highest squat in the meet. Again, I was totally ready for 1,003 at that point, but if I'd hit that 1,003, I probably wouldn't have gone to Big Dogs. I would have waited for Big Dogs for the following year because of the condition of my knee. But I was so adamant to squat 1,000 and be the first one to squat 1,000 and pull 900. You know what I mean? I really wanted that one, and that was still up for grabs at that time. So I had a partial torn patella tendon at that time. MRI and everything, and it wasn't too bad to where the doc was too concerned to where I needed to completely stop. He obviously wanted me to pull back and rest. So after that meet, I think I took 7 weeks off of no squatting at all, which is it's hard to do, especially when you're a meathead and you're on top of the world in terms of strength sport. We're retarded, right? So I wanted to keep squatting. So 7 weeks off, and then I started squatting, and it felt great. I was shooting BCP 157 and TB 500 into my knee every day, and growth hormone, and doing whatever I can to try to mend the fucking thing. And it just, was one of those things just kind of nagging. So I was prepping for Australia, and I had a big squat prepping for that. I think it was like maybe 955 or 965 in that range, where something didn't feel right. And I was pretty sure I just made the tear worse. And, the tickets were already booked and everything for Australia. And it was just one of those things like, well, I'm just going to rest and then go out there and see what we can do. So I didn't even get my final squat in prep for that. My deadlift was crazy strong. My bench was really good. So I was confident, as long as I can survive, around 1,000-pound squat, which is insane to say, right? But again, I was that strong at that time to where like 940 was realistic, assuming I was completely healthy, or 930 or so, or 1,030 or so. Anyway, so we're like, maybe we can survive that. We can do that. Mind you, this is me talking to my wife, and also with guidance from Chad Wesley Smith, who I listen to the best I can, but he's definitely more on the conservative side of things, and I was more aggressive. So we went forward with Australia, and then out there in Australia, I hit 1,008 squat. I was the only retard to walk it out of the monolift, and watching it, moved great and everything like that. So I was pretty happy with that. But that knee was already torn. It held on out there. I was very grateful for that because we remember what happened to Brandon Lilly. He went to Australia with a torn knee, made it worse, ended up costing him a ton of money, getting stuck out there, and then trying to get home with it swelling on the airplane, and just that whole nightmare that he went through. So that was kind of in my head, and I was just really hoping. I was just really thankful that nothing fell apart out there. And that meet, the weight did. I'm not sure how deep you want me to get into that meet, but I know we're mainly talking about what ended the powerlifting. So that meet went fairly good. I ended up getting 3rd place with a 2430 total, which is the highest podium ever in powerlifting history. There's never been a 2400 podium. Again, I went for a 900-pound deadlift on the end, when in reality I should have. I wanted to go 881. That's what I was prepped for. Was a solid. I mean, that was like on the conservative. It was a solid 81, and that would have put me in front of Odell Manuel. But Odell hurt his hamstring. Opening deadlift and was stuck in the numbers. And I didn't go out there for fucking second place. I went out there to win. So I said full send, 900 pounds, and I got it up there, even above my knees. And then just, I started seeing stars, and it just stopped moving. It was one of those things. You just had to let it go. So that happened. Anyways, fast forward a little bit. We get back from Australia. And again, I took about 8 weeks off trying to let my knee heal, and it felt good. I mean, I'm not. I'd be lying if I said it felt bad. It definitely felt good. Again, this is continuing with the peptide and growth hormone use into the knee. It felt really good. I was down in body weight, so I felt comfortable, and I was still really strong. So we started prepping for Kern 2019. And at this time, no one had yet done 1,000 and a 900. I was confident to do 1,050 and 900. Dylan Hellraiser ended up hitting that 1,900 within that time period, which he's a freak, so he deserved it. And obviously, that sucked. But I was still determined to go out there and do it. I was like, all right, I'll be the first guy to do 1,050 and 900 or something fucking stupid, whatever I did to justify it to myself to keep pushing it and eating, force feeding. I was like 365 pounds, and just, I'm only 6'1", so I'm not meant to be that big. Well, the knee was starting to bug me, during a warm-up one day, a squat. Andy Hung, that huge Asian guy, was out there with me training. We're filming a video for Iron Rebel, so we had, a little film crew and, guys there at the gym, so the hype was real. And, the knee was feeling like shit warming up. I knew something was definitely bad. And, I did like 880 or something, or 870, and that was like my first wrap squat. I did 800 in sleeves, and it's weird. The sleeves that would really fuck my knee up. Like when I wasn't the wraps, excuse me. When I was just in sleeves, I never had any pain or any issues. I did like a 900 or 800 pound squat, very easy, in sleeves, and then I went to like 881 or 87, whatever the kilo conversion was, and that was in wraps. And my knee, it just made like a pop, and it didn't feel good. And I just kind of chalked it up to it was just air, leave like a crack in a knuckle. It wasn't a big deal. I remember I'm standing outside with my wife, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know. I said, well, can you squat to depth with just body weight? I was like, probably not. So, I didn't even want to attempt it. And, that's just, when you're stupid and fucking just trying to keep pushing the limits. So I go in there, and my next squat was 925 pounds. I don't even know if that was supposed to be my top squat, or maybe I had one after 955. I don't remember where we were in prep at that point. But I did the 925. Right when I got into the bucket, all the way down the hole, my quad tendon completely severed. My patella tendon snapped in half. My kneecap rolled over, and my knee and my leg just completely gave. And somehow I ended up standing up with that with one leg. You can find the video on YouTube or Instagram. I pistol squat at 925 and then stepped it into the mono. It's got to be some kind of record. So that, but again, my knee was completely, the quad was completely separated, all the way off. And, we wrapped it. And as soon as they pulled the wrap off, I just felt everything start moving around. My quadricep rolled up into my hip. My kneecap shifted over. I mean, it was real weird. I was like, oh, fuck. And then they sit me down on a bench, and I'm sitting there. I'm just so delusional, and it's just funny.
Might be all right. Yeah, it's
right.
It's
funny to look back on it and realize how fucking dumb I was. And I was like, I think we're like 7 weeks out from Kern, so I'm thinking like, it's not that bad. I probably just maybe do like one or two big squats before the meet. I'll be good. You know what I mean? Maybe the 1,050 won't be there, but something big will be there. And, it's just completely delusional. And I couldn't even walk out of the gym. One of my buddies, Derek White, he's got one leg, so he's got crutches. He brought me his crutches over just so I can get to my truck and get home. My wife had to drive me home. It was my right knee that was busted. So I get home, and again, I keep telling myself, it's not that bad. I can't even walk. I'm fucking scooting around on a crutch and just getting my chair, and I'm sitting there. And then I reached out to a friend of mine who's a PT at the doctor that I see, and so she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to see him tomorrow. I'll let him know." So she sees him and shows him the video, and then he's like, "Oh, he needs to come in. He tore his quad." And she kind of tells me that. I'm like, "Tell my quad. No way. I think like maybe an MC. It's so small little ligament. I didn't think it was a big deal." So I crutch my way fucking into the truck, and I go to see the specialist. A couple of days later, because it was on a weekend, and he has me do a couple tests, and he's trying to tell me to move my leg forward, and I am, but I'm using my hip, swinging it. He's like, no. He holds my hip. He's like, move your leg, and I couldn't. It was a weird feeling. You know what I mean? To have your leg completely, and muscle separated. And he just wouldn't move. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, you tore your quad. I'm like, well, can I still do the meet?
He's like, no.
He starts laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, no, man. He's like, you'll never walk again. And he's like, we don't repair this. I'm like, whoa. So here we go. Like, I'm on cloud 9. I'm up there, number 3 in the world, and just extremely confident that I was going to break Andre Mahalchev's record at that time. Daniel Bell had not had it yet. Extremely confident I was going to break it, and I was, it just sucked. I didn't want to believe it, and I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, you're going to be out for a year. I'm like, that's an eternity. You know what I mean? When you're at the top, because a year. I mean, at least it feels like an eternity when you're going through it. Looking back on it, it's just a blimp in your life, but at the moment, it was forever.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? What am I even doing this for? So I went and I had the surgery, had my knee repaired. I was like 363 pounds in the morning of surgery. It was fucking brutal, so big. My poor wife is having to lug me around, and luckily she's strong as fuck.
She's isn't your wife like 6 foot tall?
Yeah, she's 6 foot tall, just jacked. She trains every day. She's strong as they come.
And
so
she got a pretty awesome hat at the showdown meet
she has
too.
great
she
taste.
she came up and showed me her camo and orange lip hat. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So she was like, oh, I thought it was cute. I wanted to buy it. I'm like, cool. But yeah, she was stoked on that. But yeah, so again, luckily she's stronger as they come. Mind you, when your leg's completely locked, it's kind of fucking useless. And I'm stuck on a recliner chair. I can't get up on my own. It's just not possible. Because I can't bend my leg, and at that weight, it was brutal, guys. Like pissing in a bottle all day while she's gone at work until she got home. I'm still writing programs online. Like, oh, dude, I do not miss those motherfucking days. I'm so glad they're behind me. I remember sitting there just smelling like shit.
Yeah, just getting sweaty on the couch. Yeah,
I have a fan coming each direction just to get that fucking smell going away from me, so I don't have to smell myself. Yeah, it was brutal. But so we dealt with that, and that recovery was relatively quick. I think 2 months after, I was moving around pretty good on my own. Still like in a leg locked. My leg was locked shut. I don't remember how it was. I don't remember what it was that did it, but my leg was locked straight to me. And then maybe 3 months out, that's when I was able to start kind of moving the leg a little bit and trying to get it moving. And then 4 months out, I'm now moving around well to where I'm doing body weight squats to a box and rehabbing my knee. I remember I put out that video with Iron Rebel where I was like talking shit, like, being top 5 is trash. Like, I want to be number 1 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm all fucking fired up to come back. And, I was benching, north of 500 pounds. I was just, still strong, and I was still in it. I was still big, 350 or 345 pounds, something like that. Anyways, like I said, moving around, doing bodyweight squats. And then, we had just, we just partnered with the new gym, or it was something around that time where I was driving much further to the gym now, and I was riding my new bike. Like I've had a Harley for a minute, but I sold my Road King and I ended up upgrading and buying a Road Glide. So I was super stoked on my new bike, and riding my bike to the gym, and then I got smashed, T-boned at like 50 miles an hour, and launched up in the air, came down, landed on my head, and then whiplash in my back, ended up breaking my pelvis, shattering like 5 vertebrae in my spine, tore my erector in my back, completely tore every ligament in my left leg, which is the opposite leg in the groin. So I had like no movement in my left leg at all. And then luckily I didn't do any damage to my right leg, my knee, that I just had repaired, that I was barely even walking on. So I was pretty confident that, or not confident. I mean, I thought I was going to die when I first got hit, because I was in the air. It was all slow motion. I was reaching for the ground, trying to catch the ground, couldn't. Came down, smacked my head. And then I was pretty amazed that I was still conscious. I remember laying there on the ground. And then I knew I wasn't paralyzed because my upper body was burning on the asphalt, because it's Vegas. It was like 110 out.
Yeah.
And but I couldn't feel my legs at all. So I thought I was going to be paralyzed lower half. And the responding EMTs and firemen, they were a fan of me. They knew me through Instagram, and they're like, "Holy shit, Brandon!" And like, "How's your knee?" I'm like, "Fuck my knee, dude." I can't feel any of my legs. And then, they obviously know how serious it was. And it took a minute for the fucking ambulance, it seems like, to get there. Who knows? This all could have been a couple minutes, guys. In my head, it was an hour.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
I don't know. It could have been 20 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know. So we get in the ambulance and we're driving to the fucking hospital. I remember thinking, like, fuck, man, how did this happen? Like, and you just, I don't know, you just start thinking of the worst of everything. And, I'm texting my dad, and it was a rough time. And, we get to the hospital, and, they strip all your clothes off, and fuck, I'm just sitting there with my little dick hanging out and like all fucked up. And I'm like, God, this is even more embarrassing. At least give me a chub,
Just like half of one. Yeah.
I couldn't get any blood flow down there. I was trying hard. The fucker was just being, I don't know, he was being stubborn. So, and then my wife finally shows up because again she's at work, and I had to text her, and it was a rough text to send out. So she gets there, and then they send me to the back. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, she had not gotten there yet. So they sent me to the back for an MRI, a CAT scan, excuse me. And I'm sorry, it was MRI first. And then I got stuck in the MRI machine as usual. And I had to bring some techs in to fucking take the thing apart, to get me out. And then they sent me to a different MRI machine and put me in the other way, feet first. Oh, dude, it was a fucking nightmare. And all this time, my legs aren't moving. Like, I can't really feel anything. And then, at this point, we're still thought maybe I was paralyzed. I don't know. And then maybe it's been like 3 or 4 hours now. And, after the MRI and the CAT scan, I'm laying there and my wife got there and my legs were starting to move at that point, my toes and shit. I could feel everything. I was like, okay. So it was just an impact shock that was that I lost mobility. So I was feeling, I was pretty happy about that, obviously. And I was like, okay, I was in my head, I was like, I'm going to be okay. As long as I can fucking walk. I don't want to be stuck in a wheelchair. I just want to be able to walk. I don't care about lifting or anything at that point. So the nurse or the doctor comes out. She's an Indian doctor, woman, and she was like, "Sir," she's like, "I don't want to offend you." She's like, "But if it weren't for all your size," she's like, "there's no way you would be here today." I was like, "Oh, you're not offending me." I was like, "I have force feed, motherfucker." I was like,
"This is by design."
Right? I'm like, "Yeah, this is on accident." I was like, "You want to fuck, man?" I was like, "Yeah, this is on accident." So it was relieving to hear that all the hard work paid off. But again, I should have never got hit in the first place. Is how the fuck do you not see a 340-pound man on a fucking Road King? It's like the biggest bike it is. You know what I mean? You can get. But that happened. It is. And then we get out of the hospital for that, and that was rough because this was way worse than the knee surgery. Because this one, my left leg didn't work at all. I couldn't there was no ability to move it forward. So I'd have to be on crutches and then lean onto my right knee, which is now my good knee, which I just had repaired fucking 4 months ago. And then my wife would have to pick up my left leg and move it forward. And then I could lean on that leg and scoot over and then go on the right and then so on and so forth. So as you can imagine, I didn't move much for a few months.
Yeah.
Right back on that fucking couch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this motherfucker. I just wanted, it was, you can only imagine what was going through my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a tough time. But again, as I started rehabbing that and started moving around again, and I'm like fucking super happy. We just opened up the big gym. Things are, I don't know, things are looking good. We're ready to run meets and all this cool stuff. And then, I don't know, man. I couldn't. My back was just so fucked up. I couldn't get strong again. I would go to I feel good deadlifting 3-4 plates, you know what I mean? And I just turn it up a little bit, and I had that one spot that tore in my back. Even to this day, I have a little gap in muscle from where that tear was. It just never fully mended, and I was just feeling every time I get strong. So I just fucking hated it. I just hated lifting at that point. I was so depressed and just so over it. I was still benching decent weight in the low 500s and shit like that. So, I mean, everything was bad. But I just was so mad. And then all the atrophy that was happening in my legs. I worked so hard, you know what I mean, to get to that side. Just watching myself shrivel up. Where, a buddy of mine, Eric Spoto, is, world champion bench presser. He's also, an amazing arm wrestler, one of the best there is.
Yep. He's posted on Instagram again now, too.
He's coming out of the wild.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Were you? Yeah. Did you force him into it?
Fucking arm and pull his ear to get him to something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so So, Spoto, is all about the arm wrestling. He's like, oh, the team, the biggest arm wrestling team, I'm sharing the gym. And then my other buddy, Eric A., who we sold, during COVID and stuff, I'm fast forwarding a little bit. We sold the gym and we sold it to Eric Spoto and our other buddy, Eric A., so the two Erics. So, they're both arm wrestlers and they're, pushing me to do arm wrestling with them. So I would go to practice here and there. I wasn't in love with it at first. Like, they're all like, oh my God, you're so strong, but they're kicking the shit out of me. You know what I mean? So it didn't feel so strong. And then it wasn't, until I met Devin Larrett. He came out to my gym from Canada, and I see this guy walking in the gym, and he just looks like a gorilla. He's 6'6", and his arms drag on the fucking ground, his knuckles drag on the ground, enormous forearms. I'm like, what the fuck? And Spoto's like, this guy's the best arm wrestler in the world, right? I'm like, what? I'm like, this guy? I'm like, no fucking way. So, I think that's kind of like the night that I really fucking fell in love with it. Again, I've had exposure to arm wrestling prior to this from Derek Smith, guys in Cal. Like, I've had a lot of exposure to it, but I've seen it at the expos and things like that. But I didn't care about it. You know what I mean? It was nothing I cared about. I think that was like the turning point where I was like, I actually fucking, this is pretty tight. So I started arm wrestling, going to practice every week. And like when you first start arm wrestling, for like the first year, you just get weaker every week because your tendons get more and more sore and damaged, and they take so long to recover. So it was one of those things I just had to keep sticking with and keep going, and learning better technique and getting stronger and stronger. And I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, well, I love this arm wrestling shit. It's growing big. There's a lot of opportunity in it. I don't have to put 1,000 pounds on my back again. I may not even be able to put 1,000 pounds on my back again. I was like, maybe this is for me. You know what I mean? It's another strength sport. I like competing. Maybe this is for me. And plus it's more combat. You know what I mean? It's head to head, man to man. A little different than powerlifting, which I like. You know what I mean? I like that aspect of it. Shit talking is a lot funner, and there's just more to it. So I was like, maybe I'm gonna stick with this. So my arms were pretty beat up just from all the training I was doing. I had gyno from, a decade of steroid abuse. I wanted that removed, because it was kind of hard when I was losing size, and I felt uncomfortable being 300 pounds because my gyno would show more because my chest size is smaller and everything like that. My muscles are smaller. So I had my gyno removed. That was a fucking brutal ass surgery too. If you're ever thinking about doing it, highly recommend it. Just letting you guys know the recovery's a bitch. I was like, there was a point where I was sitting there. I was like, here I am on the fucking couch again. I elected to do
You
this.
chose to do this one.
All back to the couch.
Stupid motherfucker. God damn it. Here I am, man. So here I am getting fucking skinny again. Not pitching fucking 500 anymore. And, I had nothing going for me, but at least I got that fucking gyno going. So, I was super stoked on that. So, and then again, as soon as I recovered from the gyno, right back, all I thought about during all my recovery was arm wrestling. I was in love with it. I was watching every fucking YouTube video there is to watch. It was just totally just immersed into it. And so I try to learn as much as I can. And so when I came back, that's all it was arm wrestling. So I started training arm wrestling, like real serious, still while doing powerlifting movements and stuff like that. And then, earlier this year, I was getting pretty strong in powerlifting. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, last year. I forgot it's 2021 now. So, it was earlier this year. Fuck, man, this year's been a weird one. So earlier this year, I was getting strong again. I was like, I think I'm going to do a powerlifting meet again. So, I was going to do this meet in Phoenix. It was what's the federation? Not AAU. That's fucking drug free. It was
APF or
APF. Yep, that's right. It was, So I was going to do it. It was Tim Sparks. I was going to do an APF meet. And I was pretty confident at 308 I could do a 2,000 pound raw total, which used to mean something. You know what I mean? I know.
We've had that conversation with a lot of people, like at the showdown. Now it's like, just like
you got a 2,000. Oh, you and everyone else. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it still does mean something, honestly, but that is what it seems like.
Yeah. Well, when I first got into powerlifting, there wasn't too many people that did a 2,000 pound total, so that was the goal, not the standard. That's the standard today.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I can do a 2,000 pound total. That'd be great. I'll promote my coaching. You know what I mean? Get me back out there in the powerlifting scene. I was pretty dead in the powerlifting scene for a minute, which is, it is what it is. And I was like, that'd be good. So my team had a tournament, an arm wrestling tournament that they were going to up north in northern Nevada. And I wanted to go to it, but it was the same weekend as that meet. I already said I was going to do that meet. Long story short, I ended up getting hurt prepping for this fucking meet again. No, it's nothing serious. My left hip, I don't know. I kind of always had pain in this area. I don't know if it just got worse from the accident or what, or all the compensation from my right knee going on in my left. Who knows what it is? But my left hip, I've always had this spot that just fucking hurt. You know what I mean? It kind of swells up a little bit. And I hit, I think, so the week before I did 685 for like 3 sets of 3. So I knew my strength was come back up. I was like, oh, let's do an AMRAP with like 635, decent weight, see where I'm at. And I hit like 8 reps. And on the 8th rep, when I come out of the hole, my hip popped. Like it was like like I could hear it, you know? I was like, oh, fuck me. So I wrapped it. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. Here we are again. Back to the fucking couch. That's all I could think about, right?
Yeah.
I was like, 'cause I was confident something just tore, you know, the way it sounded. And then, you know, a few minutes go by and you let the fucking shock go away. I'm like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. And I go to squat, it just hurt like shit. But I was able to full range of motion and things like that. So I call my doctor up. I'm like, hey, doc, you know, me again. And I was like, I need to see, I guess something going on. So I go see him. He's worried I may have torn an attachment off the bone area. So I went and had an MRI done, and no tear. I just have really bad bursitis and tendonitis from all the years of abuse, you know. So it's one of those things where he's like, you have really bad bursitis. I'm not sure, or what you can do for this other than rest and ice and massage and stretch. And I'm like, well, rest, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do that. So he's like, yeah, I know you're not. He's like, so we can stick some cortisone in it and that might help. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So I fucking load up on a cortisone shot. I was still going to try to do that meet. It felt great for like 3 days and then it just felt like shit again. So I was like, no, I'm done. So at that point, I totally switched my focus over to arm wrestling. Now, I'm still maintaining, my powerlifting movements. Just I'm not squatting anymore. I tried to squat all the way up until a few weeks ago. Maybe like 6 weeks ago, I'm finally now at a point mentally where I'm okay not squatting heavyweight because I just can't. My hip just doesn't let me do it. So, I do like hypertrophy work and squat on my squat day instead of actual squatting.
Yeah.
And then I still bench and I still deadlift and I still do standing overhead press, all at a pretty high intensity.
Yep.
I just can't squat anymore. And I've learned to accept that. And squatting is never going to help me in arm wrestling anyway, so whatever. So I've kind of totally embraced arm wrestling, and this is kind of what I want to do, and I love it. And and again, I think I was only doing the powerlifting because I felt like I had to, because I worked so hard at it for so long and built up, everything I've done with my coaching and with my, just my reputation, and I just, it was a part of me. It's how I identified. Like what do you do? I'm a fucking powerlifter. Like, oh, but what does that mean? I'm like, look me up, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like sick numbers. Like it was just a part of me, and I felt like I had to continue doing it. But, I'm at a point now where I'm like, that was me. That's what I love. It'll always be a part of me, and I'll always do the training and I'll always be involved in it. But I just don't know if I'm there at a competitive level anymore. The guys have taken it to a new. I mean, we saw at the showdown. You have fucking Thomas Davis, just doing numbers, just insane. You know what I mean? And all these guys, there's multiple 1,000-pound deadlift attempts. I must have saw 3 or 4 600-pound benches and then a 700-pound bench. The numbers are just fucking ludicrous now. So, it's kind of it's kind of nice being on the coaching end of it.
I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, they can have their
I know
fun.
what they're going through. You know what I mean? Like I've been there. Like I know what they're going through. It's miserable, but it's worth it on the platform. And you feel bad because someone like TD who just did so great at that meet and smashed it, and then right when the meet was over and I was talking to him, I was all excited for him and everything. He's like, yeah, so the next one, this is what I'm like, damn, man, you couldn't even fucking you couldn't have 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's not even 24 hours.
Couldn't enjoy it just for that. That's the way that goes. That's how people get good at it though too. You don't people don't get to that level just being like, all right, that's good enough.
Right, you got to be kind of stupid.
Yeah, yep.
Right, and TD's obviously kind of stupid, like how fucking Tony is. I love TD. But again, he's dealing with an
awesome.
issue right now. So I hope, I know he went and got an MRI. I know he's getting dialed. So I hope he gets that mended up and he's able to continue and not to go through some of the bullshit I went through. If I was a little smarter about it, listen to Chad and things like that, I wouldn't be in the shoes I am right now, probably. But again, here's what it is. So so now full blown arm wrestling. That's all I fucking do. I train arm wrestling 6 days a week. I train on the table every other week. I still do powerlifting 4 days a week without the squat. I just do a hypertrophy squat or leg day. And then I bench every Wednesday. I deadlift every Friday. I do overhead every Saturday. It's just my routine. And then arm wrestling Monday through Saturday, or arm wrestling arm work to be more specific, like wrist and cup and stuff like that. So with arm wrestling has come new opportunity, and it wasn't that long ago. I signed up for my first tournament, which is in Utah at SitCon. Keaton, the muscle from Diesel Brothers, he's a friend of ours. He's one of the owners, and I'm not sure how you would describe them, but promoters, owners of that event, him and the Baileys. So he called me. He asked if I would go and be a part of it. I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I saw there was an arm wrestling tournament, and I was like, dude, can I not speak so I can? Because he wanted me to speak on the stage and shit. I was like, can I not speak because I really want to do this arm wrestling tournament. He's like, oh yeah, I just want you here. I was like, fuck yeah. So I did. We went up there and I did that arm wrestling tournament, and I ended up running through everyone, left hand and right hand. And to say like it was a huge tournament, a big turnout would be dishonest. But I'm not also discrediting anyone that did show up. I was pretty happy for that my first tournament. I was able to have a good run and get my confidence up and kind of see how a tournament goes and everything like that. So I done that. I did well. Got a little buzz in the arm wrestling community. Powerlifter, converse, blah blah blah, that kind of shit. And then I got called out for a super match. So in arm wrestling, there's two styles of competition. There is tournaments, which are probably more common, and then there's super matches, which are becoming much, much more common and more exciting. So a tournament is just what it is. You can have, whatever show up type of bracket, 16-person bracket, whatever. You battle up, you go to the top. As we all know, in tournaments, not always the best guy wins. You can have a number 1 and a number 2 guy get sent up to each other early in the match and then get tired, and then those guys will get eliminated. You know what I mean? There's so many ways that things could change in a tournament. So you don't necessarily know who is the strongest in a tournament. You just know who had the best day. So that's one way of competing in arm wrestling. And then there's super matches, which is you versus one other guy for the best of 5 or the best of 6 or 7, however it's set up, under what category of rules and all this stuff. Arm wrestling is still a little disorganized in terms of how it goes. There's just a lot of federations, a lot of different rules, and there's not really a standard. There's no standard weight classes. Those can change per event. So there's a little disorganization, which I think is going to change because as it's growing, as rapidly as it is, and the people that are involved, and myself being involved as well, and working with people to help make it better. So that's that's how it is. You know what I mean? Super matches are kind of like the cool thing. That's how you know who's the better arm wrestler in terms of one guy against the other, and things like that. So I get called out by Dave Depew, who is a powerlifter, strongman, and arm wrestler. He's been arm wrestling for like 15 years. He's out of a Grinder gym in San Diego. He asked me to come out there for his son's event, which is King of Cali, and if I would like to be a celebrity match and arm wrestle him, and that kind of thing is my first super match. I was, hella nervous. This guy is, been doing it for a long time. I've gripped up with him. Maybe I've gripped up before. I don't remember. I just know his hand is super strong, and oh my God, I was nervous as shit. So I go out there to San Diego, did really well, ran through him 3-0. No disrespect to Dave. I just was definitely training hard, and I took that shit very seriously and did everything I could to make sure I was prepared and to beat him, and that's what I did. I ended up having, an after pulling with everyone, did really well pulling all the other guys and things like that. So then, Larry Wheels, sure, maybe you guys don't know who he is, but
never heard of her.
Yeah. So Larry Wheels has been in arm wrestling for a little over 2 years now, a little longer than I have, and he's had all the best in the world out there training with him in Dubai. Everyone's seen the videos that you can watch Larry Wheels. I'm a huge Larry Wheels fan. I've always been a fan of Larry. He's just a genetic mutant. Can do whatever he wants and be one of the best at it. So that's why I've always respected the guy. Me and him have talked over the years, and I kind of been poking at him like, "Hey, let's get a match. Let's get a match." And he was in the States. And when he was in the States, I was trying to set up a match for me and him from when he was going to be on the West Coast. For those of you that know, there was a tragic accident. One of Larry's best friends, also a friend of mine, passed away, Black Tom Cruise. It changed Larry's plans for being in the United States, and then he went back to Dubai because he wanted to be back in where he was comfortable and things like that, where he lived now. So I was like, oh fuck, the match with me and Larry probably isn't going to happen. When am I ever going to go to fucking Dubai? And when's the next time he's going to be in the States? So that's kind of was in my head. And then one morning I wake up and it's like, I don't know, it's like 5 a.m, taking a shit before I get up to coach. And I look at my phone. I got DMs from Larry, and he fucking asked me if I would be interested in a match against him at King of the Table 2, which is one of his promotions out there in Dubai. By far the biggest powerlifting event going on right now in the world in terms of spectators and things like that. I'm ecstatic. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, absolutely. Like, I couldn't believe it. You know, it was so awesome. So now, you know, I don't remember how long ago this was, a few months. So as you can imagine, my training has been insane recently, getting ready for this match, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm really thankful for Larry for giving me this opportunity. I really started focusing more on my YouTube channel as opposed to my Instagram, which is kind of where it's at for arm wrestling. Most of the people are on YouTube, not on Instagram. Yeah, you know, I'm super ecstatic for that. And you know, I don't know, I've just been training and getting ready for that. And here I am now. I don't even know what else to say. It's so much going through my mind. I know it's hard to get me to talk, guys, by all means.
Well, I mean, you knocked through most of our questions for us is the good part there, I guess.
Yeah,
Let me finish this glass of whiskey. I'll tell you some more.
Yeah, as you were talking, I was thinking of a few things. So, where to start?
I got my first one would be, what does actual training for arm wrestling, like, what does that look like?
So it's very boring, partial range of motion type movements, keeping the arm at a 90-degree angle and beyond. So, you know, us guys who have been lifting our entire lives, well, we never train that top portion of the bicep or our wrist. Why the fuck would we? So when we do a curl, you know, you're curling from the bottom and you carry momentum when you get to that 90 all the way up to the top. So the top portion of the curl doesn't really get that much work in the way that we traditionally train. And then again, when are you ever doing wrist rolls and riser and supination work and pronation? You just never do these wrist movements in traditional weightlifting. So again, I've always had, I've had a very strong back and a very strong arm because of all the lifting I've done, but I'm not strong in the right places in arm wrestling. But I've learned, obviously, over the last year and a half that I've been training it. So what it looks like is half rep bicep work, and then it looks like a ton of boring little wrist movements that if you didn't have a trained eye, you would have no idea what's the difference in the one compared to the other that I'm doing. For example, it took me forever to I don't want to say forever like I'm a fucking idiot, but it took me a minute. It definitely took me a minute to figure out the difference between like supinating and pronating and like just to call it quick, right? So I'd have to really look at it and analyze it. But now, you know, it's just second nature is what I do. So again, riser work, which basically means fucking lifting. Like if you are sitting there making a thumbs up, like just lifting your fist up, that's riser. And that's like one of the most important things in arm wrestling. And then cup work, which is literally just doing a wrist curl, turning your wrist in basically. And then supination would be like if you have your hand straight out, it would be twisting your pinky up, like your palm and pinky up. That's supination. And then pronation is if your hand straight out, turning your thumb so your thumb goes down, basically, and you're turning your wrist over. So yeah, those are like, you know, the four movements in or was it three? So those are the movements of arm wrestling that are, you know, very important to do. And, you know, it's, again, you can get creative with it. There's all these specialty handles and things like that to work. And in arm wrestling, they're all effective. They all work. It's just as simple as just creating tension in those areas. And then, you know, force, you know, it's going to, you know, stimulate change. So,
so
people, go ahead.
For like the actual, you know, like a lot of sports, you have technique drills and stuff. Like, do you have, like when you're training the actual competition part of it, do you have like drills and stuff that you run through, or how does that go?
Yeah, so this is going to change based off who you talk to because everyone has their own theories. I don't technically train that way. Like, I don't do arm wrestling in the gym. Like, I don't train like working, like grabbing the pulley and then bringing it to the side and doing like I don't train that. I train like the individual components of the arm wrestling, which is, you know, been taught to me like Derek Smith, who's someone I really respect in arm wrestling, and a really smart guy. So that's kind of how I do it. And then I get that actual technique training on the table. Okay. So you can only recover from so much, right? Mm-hmm. And you get your ass kicked on the table like that. You know, you have to imagine how much harder and longer you can train in the gym, because in the gym, let's say you're working back pressure or riser, someone's not just going to drop 80 pounds of pressure out of nowhere to the side like can happen on the table. So in the gym, you can train a lot harder than you can on the table. The table takes you a while to develop that conditioning to handle the work. But yeah, to answer your question, there, you know, again, I don't do too much technique training or drill work as you're asking, but there are a lot of guys that do.
Okay. Is it? Do you think it's harder to make it to the top of powerlifting or to make it to the top of arm wrestling as a sport?
Well, definitely powerlifting. I mean, like,
Okay.
yeah, like, again, I'm not. There's probably maybe like 2 arm wrestlers that are listening to this are like, "Fuck you, dude." But like, arm wrestling is seriously like the training of arm wrestling. Just in comparison to elite level powerlifting is much easier, right? Like, I've never puked from an arm wrestling workout.
Right.
I've never not been able to walk out of the gym from an arm wrestling workout. Like, you know what I mean? I've never. There's just so many. It's just so different. It's more of a consistent type thing. Like, you can train arm wrestling 6-7 days a week.
Right.
There's small muscles, small breakdowns, quick recovery, as opposed to powerlifting. You know, they're just too different. Again, a lot of this is going to come down to genetics too. If you have the genetics to be one of the world's strongest powerlifters, you're going to have the genetics to be one of the world's strongest arm wrestlers. Doesn't mean you're going to be the best arm wrestler, but you can be one of the strongest, right? So, you know, it's just, you know, it all comes down to genetics, in my opinion, on all of it. But I would have to say that, again, I'm nowhere near the top in arm wrestling. Like, I'm just, I don't know how you would even describe me. I guess technically I'm pros. I've done pro tournaments and shit like that. But I would have to say I'm just like a fucking very low level pro guy. You know, I don't think that. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think
that makes sense. Do you think do you get any, like, is there any arm wrestlers out there that are pissed off at you? And I don't know if this is true or not, but do you get any preferential treatment because you already had made a name for yourself in powerlifting? So you get like,
bro, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So some people are like, this fucking guy just started and I would kick his ass, you know, like,
and then how stupid it is. Like, how stupid is it? It's like a boxer bitching that Hathor got that big boxing promotion match. Like, he didn't get the fucking boxing promotion match because he's a great boxer. He got it because he's one of the world's strongest men. What he did in another sport and then cross-ferring over makes
he's got a following. Yeah, people want to watch him. Yeah,
but neither me or Larry are phenomenal arm wrestlers, but we're so strong we can beat a lot of guys because of our strengths. And then, you know, they want to see the 2 big fucking meatheads go against each other who have similar experience levels and you know what I mean, and similar strength. Me and Larry were, you know, very close to each other in strength and powerlifting. I obviously did more weight than he's done, but I'm also, you know, 80 pounds bigger than he was. And you know, and I'm pretty sure Larry crushed my numbers in sleeves because I had never done a big meet in sleeves, because when I was competing, all the big money meets were in wraps. And then when Larry did Kern, he was the only, him and Foster Parnell were the only ones to do it in sleeves. So again, if Larry had done Kern and wraps, that would have been a great comparison against us to see who was overall better strength at that time, right? But again, that just wasn't the case. So again, we're very close in strength in terms of the powerlifting. He's probably definitely stronger than me now. He benches more weight than I am, that's for sure. More weight than I do. But you know, in terms of arm wrestling, we're just going to see. You know, it's who's the most, who's going to be able to use other strengths against them. But yeah, you know, it's weird in arm wrestling. I've already noticed it. People that used to like talk to me and reach out, now as soon as I got my match with Larry, they fucking, you know, don't respond to messages and shit anymore. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
And again, these aren't like the super elite guys. The super elite guys are all cool as fuck. So happy that we're involved.
Well, they're like, yeah, good. It's more exposure for arm wrestling. Like, that's good.
They're all super cool. All of
it's
them
the people that are probably busy, you know, a little more comparing themselves to you and thinking like,
why didn't I get the match out there? Well, because you've been arm wrestling for fucking 10 years and you haven't squatted 1,008 fucking pounds yet.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You talked about some other changes and stuff that you owned the gym and sold that. Is there any part of you that misses owning the gym, or is that a relief to not have that anymore?
Yes and yes. Like, COVID was a fucking nightmare for us out here in Nevada. It still is. They're still fucking making you wear masks and shit. It's insane. So, you know, we have, you know, a bitch ass governor. He follows anything Newsom does, but worse. So, it's been a nightmare. But, you know, so you're told you can't operate, you know, your business, but you got to pay your mortgage. And you know, we have a business that operates on foot traffic, but no one can come into the use the gym, and then the other half of the country is terrified to even leave the house. It's just you know, the gyms didn't make sense to have anymore. And to be honest, the gyms didn't make us much money. Like, they paid the bills. It's, you know, but it gives you a place to make money at in terms of coaching, and then it's just fun, you know, to have a big gym, and when people are in town, they want to come see you go meet up at the gym, and you know, hold events when there's events in town. So that, you know, that's what's cool about being in Vegas. You know what I mean? Just a lot of people come to town throughout the year, and you run an event during those events to capitalize on them, and you get everyone together in one little gym. So Yeah, do I miss that part? For sure, absolutely. But do I miss like the fucking headaches, the text at 3 a.m. about there's no fucking toilet paper or the dump? Yeah, like it just you can imagine. In Vegas, everything's 24 hours, so you can imagine the dumb shit you have to deal with.
Yeah, I believe that. How about podcast wise? We always enjoyed listening to the broadcast, and you're out of that now. You don't do that anymore. Do you miss podcasting regularly at all?
Oh, absolutely. I love podcasting. I love it. Well, I mean, I know you guys are gonna have a hard time believing this, but I love talking. And, I think I'm fucking hilarious, so I like talking. So yeah, I definitely miss podcasting. Me and Andy just kind of went our own ways and did our own thing. He ended up joining up with John Hack on that. Whatever. I don't. I have no hard feelings. I don't give a fuck. Guys can do whatever they want to do. That's their own ride. I've had plans of doing a podcast. It's just been weird. It's a weird time. The more content you put out, the more you give ammo to the people that hate you to use it against you. And I love to talk shit. And a lot of my shit talking is taken out of context. And it's just so sometimes podcasts get a little nerve wracking, right?
Yeah.
I've wanted to do it. I wanted to start another podcast, and then I'm like, what do I do? I don't know. I'm not like deep into powerlifting anymore. I'm not a well-known arm wrestler anymore that where people would care what my opinion is in arm wrestling just quite yet. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm in a weird little limbo spot, but I'd be lying if I said that podcasting is not something that I plan on continuing doing in the near future.
That's cool.
I would love to do another podcast. And again, I've been on a few podcasts actually recently. It's been kind of cool. I've a few
Tom and Tom, Huck Finn and Tom Callis. You're on there.
That was fun. I've done one in Ireland, several in Australia. I have an Australian podcast coming up on Friday. That's an arm wrestling one. That'll be my first arm wrestling podcast. So, I love, imagine what the community is going to think when they hear me talk. A lot of your listeners, maybe if they're listening to this podcast because I'm on it, they know how I am.
They do. Yeah.
This arm wrestling community has no idea.
Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Talking about a dick?
Yeah. No, that's good.
Is he not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to keep question mark.
Brandon, we've got this little game called Overrated Underrated that we like to play with everyone that we've got on the podcast, and we've got a special Brandon Allen set of overrated underrated topics, and we'll fire them over to you, and it's just your job to decide if they're overrated or underrated. You can elaborate on it as much or as little as you want to. You just can't ride the line in between. You got to decide for sure whether it's overrated or underrated. So are you ready to rock and roll?
I'm on my raise no bitch.
All right. Overrated or underrated? Over the Top, the movie.
Underrated. That's a great fucking movie. I think everyone needs to watch it.
Yeah. It is the arm wrestling movie, right? I mean,
it's just a classic late 80s, early 90s style movie.
Do you watch it? Have you watched it recently and been like, oh, he's not doing any real technique? Like, can you analyze it from an arm wrestling perspective now? Like,
totally.
And, yeah.
What's amazing is that was a real tournament, and those are real arm wrestlers in those tournaments. So I know those guys now.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
So it's cool to see. And we were like, oh, holy shit, there's fucking Alan Fisher, or there's John Berzine, who I don't know personally, but
John. Have you ever watched Pulling John before?
Oh, absolutely. That was when I went on that YouTube kick when I had the gyno surgery. I probably watched that 2 or 3 times.
Over the Top is kind of the arm wrestling movie that people know, everyone knows, but Pulling John is really the arm.
I've never even heard of that.
It's good. I don't know where you see, if it's on YouTube or where you can catch. Okay, yeah. It's worth for anyone listening to this, that if you think arm wrestling is cool to any degree or whatever, like watching Pulling John that's a cool movie documentary.
Real quick on that, for those that have seen Pulling John, know what it is. It's about John Berzine, the greatest arm wrestler to ever live, who's an American who has been retired for 5 or 6 years now, who has now come out of retirement, who is smashing young guns on his way up. He will be in Dubai competing against Devin Larratt at my event when I pull Larry Wills.
And what does John weigh? He's not an enormous man.
So he might be bigger than you think.
Okay.
He's like 6. I believe he's like 6'2".
Okay, yeah, I wasn't thinking he was that tall too. Yeah.
I believe he's like low 200s, and I just know he has an enormous hand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Pulling John, that's a must watch though.
Pulling John, absolutely. If you're interested in arm wrestling, check out Pulling John. if you'll be in love after that. If not, you're probably something wrong with you.
Okay. Overrated or underrated Harley Davidsons?
Oh well, shit. I love Harleys, but
I've got a fat.
like-
I've had a Fat Boy for like 10 years. But I just wanted
I don't
your
know if they're-
opinion now after the accident and stuff, if it's changed at all.
no, I still love them. I don't know how to word it. I guess I don't want to be a toe of the line, but I think they're awesome. I love them. I don't know that they're underrated, though. I think a lot of people think they're awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. I was thinking about that question from my own perspective.
It's
And,
tough because if someone says name a motorcycle brand,
yeah,
people are going to
it's-
say Harley Davidson. You know, it's,
Right. And
I wouldn't even buy a different bike. You know what I mean? To be honest.
the only thing I'd say is, you know, the Harley Davidson, like they have the V, you know, the V twin look. Like you always know a Harley when you see it. Like it's like one
Right.
of the most iconic looks when it comes to that sort of thing. But in the American-made motorcycle market, like Indian Motorcycle is doing making pretty cool bikes now, and that's just
okay. So yes, they're overrated as fuck. There's way better options out there. I just don't want to walk out of the bar and have loogies all over my fucking bike.
And that's what I just, especially over the last few years, Indian motorcycles have really like started to, you know, and I see more and more of them all the time too. And
you seem like a colonizer. You would like an Indian.
well, so we're in western northeast South Dakota.
Right.
Sturgis is not too far from us, so sometime maybe you have to make it to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. I feel like it'd be a
I'd love to.
place
Yeah, we've been wanting that for years. I hear it's been pretty like commercialized.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
There's still, I mean, you can find
Yeah, I
or
think
not
you-
find as
you-
crazy
yeah.
as shit as you want to. Too.
Yeah, you can make whatever you want out of it.
Yeah, right. You could.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you can still do coke in the bathroom.
certainly. Like, there's all these different. And that's kind of the funny thing about it now is it is pretty commercialized, and also like every doctor and banker and lawyer also owns a Harley. You know, so like that's half of the people that are there. But then there's also like, you know, the Hell's Angels are all also there, and all that shit's going on too. So it's kind of a unique.
Melting pot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Clash of Worlds.
So would you ride a motorcycle still? Do you have one or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, do I ride currently? No,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get a bike recently. I've kind of been poking at the wife a little bit about it, and you know, I've been showing her like, oh, look at this, I want to get this road king, this one. And yeah, where we live now, we live in Boulder City, which is out of Las Vegas. We live in we live on Lake Mead, which is the city that built the Hoover Dam, basically. So we're out of Vegas now, and like we live in the desert. You know, there's really not much around here. I hardly ever go to Vegas. So
Yeah.
and, you know, the way I was convincing her was that, you know, I'm only going to ride out here and this and that. And then she's like, okay, but, you know, I have buddies that are HA and shit like that. And, you know, she knows that, you know, as soon as one of your buddies wants to fucking go for a ride into town, you're going to go ride in town. And she's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, so I think, I don't know that I would survive another crash like I did.
Right.
So maybe it's better to stay off it. You know what's interesting is that our neighbor has a badass C10, silver Chevy C10, and
Yep.
she's like, oh shit, why don't we do something like that? I'm like,
Yep.
oh shit, okay. So, you know, maybe a little truck might be safer than a bike. But you know, I would love to get back on a bike. In a perfect world, you know, I end up moving out even further in the middle of the desert like I want to, and then I'll get a bike again to where I'm not around any traffic and I can ride freely much more.
Right on. Overrated or underrated Larry Wheels?
Can you be more specific, or you just mean in general?
You can take it however you want.
whatever way
Yeah,
you want
right.
Shit, I don't know. I think he's, well, you motherfuckers.
We're just gonna cut whatever sound bite sounds the most interesting out of what you say, and remember how you said people take it out of context. That's what we'll try to do.
It's like I'm just direct, like fuck that dude. When in reality, I was like, hey, so I told the story one time. Fuck that dude. Yeah, no. I think that Larry is underrated in his ability in terms of strength, and be able to do. I mean, bro, name another, world champion, pro powerlifter, whatever you want to call him. Strongman, bodybuilder. Like name someone else that can do what he does. Like, there's very few people that are genetic mutants like that, and then have the dedication to. So, I mean, when have you ever seen Larry do something fun? You know what I mean? That guy, all he does is he's always in the fucking gym training, doing some kind of training. So, I don't know. Honestly, I think he's underrated. I'm not just saying that because he's flying me to Dubai. Thank you, Larry. But I honestly do. I honestly think he's underrated in a lot of aspects because to say that he's overrated would mean that everyone's just talking about how much of a mutant phenom he is and everything, which I think that's not the case. Maybe it's just because I'm more hyper aware because I get a lot of hate, and so I see the hate more. Maybe I don't know. Where like people hate on him, they're like, you know what I mean, they're haters. So maybe I see a lot of haters, and that's probably why I say that. But I definitely would say underrated. I don't think he's overrated.
Okay. This is the last one now. This one's kind of worth all the marbles. Everything comes down to this one. Overrated or underrated edibles?
Overrated.
Tell us about it.
Fucking eat too much. You'll fucking know exactly what I'm talking about. So like you get to a level of pot consumption that I'm at where like I rip dabs all day. So my tolerance is like stupid high. And so to eat an edible to get a fucking feeling, it requires a high amount. And there's no balance or medium, you know, like if I eat like even 100 milligram edible, which would melt something, it really won't do anything to me other than just give me really bad cotton mouth. I wouldn't really feel stoned or anything. Now let's say I eat a 500 milligram edible. Okay, now I'm fucking putting fucking newspaper on the windows because there's little cracks I don't want people to see in. And I'm I'm crawling all fours. I want the neighbors to see me. Like, you know, just terrified. You know, staring at a glass of water, scared to pick it up because I don't want the dog to see me move. The dog might attack me. He's my dog. He's 10 fucking years old. I've had him for a decade. We eat too many fucking edibles.
I did like though that the steps were
100 to 500.
and then 500.
Yeah.
I mean, who goes in between? Like, you guys, come on. I do everything over and above. Terrible with fucking moderation.
So overrated then for sure on that one.
I think they're fucking overrated. We'd be like, oh, let's have an edible and go to the movie. Why? To have cotton off or to be paranoid? You know, I'd rather rip a couple dabs where I can control the high. It's instant. I know, like, okay, I'm good. Or, oh, no, I can have another one. Or edibles, like, I think I'm good. And then you're fucking driving and you're like, why is everyone speeding? You're going 40 on the freeway.
All right, good stuff. Well, good news, Brandon. I think you passed overrated, underrated.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's what I've been. I mean, that's why I can't.
We know you were worried about it. So
I've been, what is it called again?
We don't know. We just make it up. Yeah. All right. No, that's cool. We appreciate it. Having you on was awesome. And so are you still coaching powerlifters? Are you taking people?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm still balls deep in coaching powerlifting. That's fucking what I'm doing all day, formulating and writing programs for people. I love it. You know, I get a kick out of that coach out of my garage. I sold the big gym and we closed my little gym and moved that into my garage. So my clients come to the house and train them out of here. I love that stuff. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, if you're interested in programming by me, easiest way to get a hold of me is on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. We'll make something happen. If you live in the Las Vegas area and you want one-on-one coaching, I can train you out of my house in Boulder City or at Sin City Iron. Just shoot me a DM and we'll get you dialed.
Right on. That's cool. We appreciate getting you on. This is fun stuff. Keep rocking that curl shirt.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I fucking, when I was picking out my gym gear today, I was like, oh, dude, Massenomics, I got to rock this shirt, man. Just to get my fucking flowing. Yeah, it was weird. I had an erection the entire time.
No, that's normal. That's actually usually what happens. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I'm not alone in this.
Nope. That's everyone, even women.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's great because like, when I had a boner at the gym, I put it up looking at me. And I might have SPUD a little on the bottom of the shirt.
Where was that boner when you needed it in the hospital that day?
Right? Fucking hey, dude. It wasn't even chub.
All right. Thanks. Good stuff, Brandon.
Thanks a lot, Brandon.
I appreciate the opportunity, guys. Take care.
Yep. See ya.
Tanner,
what do you give him?
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Double cool beans for Big Brandon. You know what else is cool beans, Tommy?
What?
Texas power bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid-70s. At that time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them and calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy Cap started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd never seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling, and it was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more, visit them at texaspowerbars.com.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, Tanner. I felt so inspired. I want to share something with you now.
Let's. Do I need to take any notes or
Just mental notes.
Okay.
This episode is also brought to you by SPUD Inc. and the Safety Squat Bar Strap. The Safety Squat Bar Strap is the perfect strap to keep in your gym bag if you don't want to fork out the cash for a safety squat bar or your gym doesn't have one. The SPUD Inc. Safety Squat Strap is simple to use and just attaches to nearly any bar you own. Duffalo, Buffalo, Rhino, Cambered, or the classic straight bar. And don't worry, the Safety Squat Bar Strap doesn't make squatting any easier than using a normal safety squat bar. It will still fry your mid and upper back, but it's much easier on the shoulders than that nasty old straight bar. You can even put your forearms or elbows in the straps and squat with no hands if you want. Check out the Safety Squat Bar Strap online at spud-inc-straps.com.
Tommy, the one other thing I thought about the meme contest, we did have some celebrity meme accounts chip into the meme contest. We had Subpower Powerlifting Meads, Immortal Barbell. Both have been guests on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Check those out. But I would say the honorary winner of the professional meme account Massenomics Meme Contest was Immortal Barbell, right? With the journey that's just over the top.
Good.
Like, that's insane.
Yep.
That's not a meme at that point even. That's just like, but is really cool.
Yeah.
He's made a few Massenomics cartoons before, and
It always really catches you off guard when you see one of those pop up in the feed. You go, wait, does that say Massenomics?
Yeah, like Martine's comment on there. He's like, what is this? I don't get it.
None of this makes sense.
Hopefully, I was hoping that was going to be a stepping stone into getting him on the podcast. I see
the perfect icebreaker.
Yeah, he won the Rogue Invitational this last week.
Which we didn't talk about at all.
No.
Yeah.
How could we talk about that with
There's
all this
not enough
stuff we got to
time.
talk about?
So much things going on.
Yeah, help us get Martine's on the podcast. Add him to the list of people we're trying to get on the podcast that you can help us out with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a hell of an episode, isn't it, Tommy?
It was a hell of an episode. I just thought of one other thing, Tanner, that I thought was really funny. Former podcast guest, Mikey.
Maybe.
Good
point.
He has a very funny contest going on, the Ego Lift contest.
Yep.
And man, if there's a person that should be having that contest, that
He's the
is
man.
him.
It'd be a dangerous one. I wouldn't want to, for liability reasons, I wouldn't want to be taking on that contest. Although it's probably hard to pinpoint things like that.
Put a disclaimer line on it, so he's good.
yes. But yeah, I'm very interested. I'm following along with that to see what people come up with.
I think the world's following along.
I've seen a few other Massenomics supporters getting involved in that contest as well. So maybe if you didn't win here, that's your next opportunity. That is a little bit more difficult. I think
a little more physical exertion than ours, but
yeah, interesting to follow along with that and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else we need to hit on this week, Tommy?
I think the big thing is make sure you go online and buy the Drink Spotter.
Yeah, while you still can. Do you think those could be sold out? If those are sold out already, we're throwing a freaking party.
Yeah,
I'll put that in perspective.
If we can sell out of these, then we will have some insane. We'll just give stuff away. We will.
Yes,
and you can hold us to that. We'll have 25-30% off the entire website.
Yeah,
everything,
we'll do
shorts included.
If we happen to have sold out of these in when would we? So we were saying by next week. Yeah, we'll do. Well, if we sell out of these by next week, we'll give away $1,000. How about that?
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
If we go through it, we will do $1,000 giveaway, and we'll get ones and send. We'll get a briefcase. We'll do a whole thing for it. If we sell all of these in a week, it would be insane.
Yeah.
So I hope we do that.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So
go buy this.
Buy the Drink Spotter, Massenomics.com.
Also, by the time this is coming out, we did sneak the just a very limited stock of the Lift Ugly sweater from last year.
A lot of them were already selling today. There's still be some around in some
there
sizes.
Honestly, might be just a couple left because quite a few did sell tonight already.
Get one of those if you want.
But if you want that, it will go.
And it's going away.
when that's
Probably
gone.
never to return, would you say,
Yeah,
right?
it was on the website for about a month and a half last year, and
Yeah.
it was mostly gone. It doesn't make sense to keep that thing on, so we put it in the vault. We brought
Brought
a
it back out of
very
the vault.
limited stock, and people were getting after it in a hurry. So if you're interested, there might be just a few left that
Yep.
you could take advantage
Snatch
of.
it up.
Otherwise, yeah, just buy a couple drink spiders for you,
Your loved
buddy,
ones.
your loved
Great
ones.
Christmas gift. Imagine this as a stocking stuffer.
That would be not only is it a cool gift, it also works as a gag gift. It
I
works as
think
a real gift. It
My
works
kids
as-
would love having one of these under the tree
What
this
kid
Christmas.
wouldn't love one of those? Give that to me in 3rd grade, man. My Christmas, that N64 doesn't look so good anymore.
My son would be like, Dad, is this one of those things that's been sitting in the garage for the last few months? I don't want one of those. Like, what would I do with that?
Doesn't even light up.
I thought it was a Nintendo Switch. Like us on YouTube, everywhere and anywhere. Tommy, where do they find you?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Bear. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.